We are celebrating the UConn Extension Centennial, a milestone in UConn's long tradition of public engagement. Hello, I'm Dr. Andrea Dennis Levine, a proud member of the University of Connecticut Board of Trustees. Join us on our journey through Connecticut and the impact of UConn Extension. You will see UConn ties research to real life. The Smith-Lever Act of 1914 created and provided funding for outreach endeavors at the land-grant universities founded by the Morrill Act of 1862. UConn Extension engages partners, volunteers, and staff on strategic programs aligned with the College of Agriculture, Health, and Natural Resources to improve the visibility and availability of food, health, and sustainability programs and serve as a recognized source for high-quality training and information. Jones Family Farms is a multi-generational fruit, pumpkin, and Christmas tree farm in Shelton with a long history of utilizing UConn Extension programs.
Well, UConn Extension has been part of our family farm well before my generation. I grew up with stories of various extension agents coming out and helping my grandfather learn the techniques of growing alfalfa and various other innovative dairy things in the 1920s and 30s. It wasn't like a new introduction to me as a child. It was just part of the culture of the farm.
Through UConn Extension Center for Land Use Education and Research, over 149 municipalities in the state have participated in the Land Use Academy, including the town of Harwinton.
I don't think you could put a price tag on the training we received, quite honestly. It was unbelievably helpful, and like I said, it really saved our community and these elected officials and these boards and commissions.
UConn Extension has conducted many programs to assist with greening urban areas and creating opportunities for urban agriculture.
Well, I think as long as there's been an extension service, the UConn has had some sort of presence in the state's largest city, but under Dean Wiedemann, we've had a real step up in their presence where they've been able to help us with some of our school gardens, some of our community farms, some of our energy, some of our landscape architecture. So UConn, the College of Agriculture, and the Extension Service has been very active in the city. We're very appreciative of all they do to help us.
So we have been working with UConn Extension for, I would say, the last 3 years. They have been incredibly helpful with letting us know how the soil is. If we have any questions about pests or diseases, we call UConn Extension and they have the answers for us. So we're very fortunate. Probably couldn't do this work without UConn Extension.
UConn Extension works with farmers, processors, retailers, community groups, and consumers through food safety education and training programs to inform the public about foodborne illness, safe food production, sanitation, and safe food handling.
For as long as I can remember, my uncles who ran the farm before I did were involved with Extension since I was a kid. So me personally, probably 30 years. We work with Jude Boucher on integrated pest management, which has reduced our use of pesticides. We also have worked with Diane Hirsch with food safety, which has become a really big part of what we have to do today.
Connecticut Fitness and Nutrition Clubs in Motion is a 4-H after-school program designed to reduce obesity in children ages 9 to 14 through sustainable interventions surrounding food and fitness.
By incorporating 4-H, actually, we train teens that are the ones that actually educate the younger children. So it's that peer-to-peer format. It's a very neat structure just because we see a lot of results. They've been trained for 2 weeks in nutrition, food safety, fitness, gardening, education. It's just so much information that they're receiving, and so we see the changes in their lives too.
The UConn Extension Program through Connecticut Seed Grant identifies specific risks to help seafood growers identify, manage, and correct production-related problems.
The resources that Extension have available for people in my industry are extremely valuable. There's an enormous amount of information, from regulatory to technology to environmental concerns, access to the water. It's all there. You just need to know the right questions to ask.
Greenbacker Farm is a family-owned and operated dairy farm in Durham. This multi-generational farm has been farming since the 1720s and has utilized many UConn Extension programs over the years.
I know there's a lot of good work being done at UConn, and especially Sheila Andrew that does a lot of good research. I know she's done things on mastitis and ultrasounding udders for mastitis and that kind of thing, and that information gets back to us dairy farmers through Extension.
A group of 13 Hispanic adults from Danbury and Bridgeport are participating in an urban agriculture program. This UConn Extension program has been designed in a way that students learn the science behind agriculture, botany, soils, vegetable production, and integrated pest management, and applies their knowledge by producing vegetables.
Es como un servicio completo para los estudiantes. Aprendemos a cosechar, aprendemos a plantar, a cuidar las plantas, de enfermedades e insectos, la tierra, y de ahí cómo sacar al mercado también lo que producimos, porque podemos aprender a producir, pero después ¿qué hacemos? Entonces es como un programa muy completo, muy completo. Estoy muy satisfecha realmente por eso.
Our 8 regional extension centers, the Sea Grant program at Avery Point, the 4-H Education Center at Our Farm, the Home and Garden Education Center, and the UConn Extension Office and stores all collaborate to fulfill our land-grant university mission of outreach and public engagement.
And before we leave, we want to thank you for tying research to real life with UConn Extension. We look forward to working with you in our next century of service.